All right, we're gonna do our winners and losers, everybody. We're gonna start off here. My winners for the week. First winner, Andy Dalton looked like a stud. Shout out Andy Dalton. Kind of revived this Panthers offense. Not to my own horn. Someone very attractive that sits on the left side of the screen with Raptors jerseys in the background said someone. I don't know his name, but someone said that he was gonna that the Panthers were gonna upset the Raiders. And whoever that guy is probably really smart, handsome, and tall. So shout out him, Andy Dalton. What a win! What a game for Andy Dalton and Bryce Young. You are cooked, and we're gonna get to you later because you're on my naughty list. Okay, Mystery Bryce Young. Second winner, Josh Allen. Dude's an MVP. He's the MVP front runner in my opinion. I think Mahomes in the books is a better odds than Josh Allen, but they're both Chiefs are 3-0. So it's going to be a battle between them, but I think Allen's going to squeak it out this year just because of the games he's winning. Josh Allen is winning games with not even having to look back. Mahomes and the Chiefs, they've squeaked out a few wins this year, and I so far this year, Josh Allen's my MVP. He's my MVP, and yeah, third winner of the week, Jaden Daniels, stud. This guy's a baller. Nicholas just said, Jaden Daniels reminds me so much of Lamar, how shifty he is. Yeah, I mean, he for sure does. He's Lamar with better pocket presence and a better arm and better throwing mechanics. He made a lot of tough throws last night, a lot of really nice throws last night that really impressed me. I am becoming almost as high on Jaden Daniels as I am on Anthony Richardson, right? I am in pause. I'm in love with Jaden Daniels. Like I really like him. He's a stud.
Pause.
Fourth winner of the week is Malik Willis. How about this? How about this? The Packers they just needed one. They were begging Malik Willis to just get us one win until Jordan Love gets back. Give us one win, and he's got you 2 wins. He's got you 2 wins, and he's undefeated as a Packer so far. He looks really good. And he used his rushing upside, and he got a revenge win over the Tennessee Titans. So shout out Malik Willis, killing it with the Packers. I only wrote down 4 winners. I couldn't think of a fifth, but
that's fine.
I got 5 losers. So
okay. My winners of the week. We actually have a lot of the same ones. Number 1, I put Malik Willis. I put very great game and win against the Titans, 13-19, 202 passing yards. Had a touchdown. So then he had 6 carries for 73 and a touchdown. He's 2-0 as the Packers starter. This was a guy that was benched with the Tennessee Titans, never really got that opportunity. And when he did, he was not that good. Packers got him. I was expecting them maybe only get no wins these next 4 to 5 weeks without Jordan Love when that injury was announced. But he's 2-0. They beat the Colts and Anthony Richardson, and they beat the Tennessee Titans, which I would hope they would beat. But they beat the Colts. That's a big win for them. So Malik Willis, you're my first winner of the week. Number 2, pretty sure you said it, Josh Allen. He just looks very, very dominant right now. 4 touchdowns thrown in the win over Jaguars. Talked about it earlier. They're looking very scary as a team. So Josh Allen, number 2. Number 3, I gave my praise to him as well. I think it was before the band hammer happened. Sam Darnold. I said, got to be happy for the guy. 4 touchdowns and pure dominance against the Houston Texans, who are a very tough team. They're finding a good connection with Justin Jefferson, who is as well at another touchdown. So Sam Darnold, you're my third winner of the week. Number 4, I also brought him up earlier, Nick Bolton of the Kansas City Chiefs. Game-saving tackle on 4th and inches against the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. 3 tackles for loss of his 8 total, and he helped ensure the Chiefs go to 3-0. Number 5, I had the Steelers offense. They actually looked alive for the first time in a very long time and were very fun to watch for once. It looked sketchy first 2 drives of the game, but Justin Fields looked very solid despite the interception that bounced around to Bud Dupree. He ended up 25 of 32 for 245 yards with a touchdown along with a pick. Also had a rushing touchdown. And then I do have an honorable mention. You covered it. I put the Carolina Panthers. I put in my exact words, you finally did it. You got to win. And I put the QB switch was a great choice. Andy Dalton is elite. And I put, all jokes aside, Andy Dalton had a great start. He's not elite, but I put he had a great start for the Panthers in his first Sunday of relief duties. 26 of 37, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Deontay Johnson gets a big game in return. Dalton hit Johnson, Thielen, and Hubbard for touchdown passes, all in which the main weapons on the Panthers offense. He made it work. The Carolina Panthers, and it's funny. Andy Dalton might be able to have a revenge game this week.
Revenge game coming up, Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals. We'll get to winners and losers later, but let's go to losers. You want to start?
I'll start with my losers. Okay, loser of the week, not loser of the week. My loser of the week's last. First loser of the week, Russell Wilson. Dude, your job might be cooked. You might never touch an NFL field again in your career. I'm serious. You might just not be able to, get on the field this year unless something happens to Justin Fields, he gets hurt or he starts playing terrible, and you're on a 1-year contract. I wouldn't see this Pittsburgh Steelers re-signing Russell Wilson. So I think that he's slowly just losing his job to Justin Fields, which no one expected. No one expected Russell Wilson to not start these games. I know a lot of people that bought Russell Wilson jerseys, and they might be cooked. Second loser of the week, Cincinnati Bengals, 0-3. This is a bad spot to be 0-3, and you've lost to 3 teams you should have beat. Straight up, you should have beat 3 teams. Chiefs, you probably shouldn't have beat the Chiefs, but just they're a better team than you guys. But 0-3 is a bad look, and especially in one of the hardest divisions, if not the hardest division in the NFL. Bad luck for the Bengals. Jamar Chase finally popped off. The offense looked really good, but they got to figure it out in total. They haven't been able to do it, and now they're going to be loser of the week back-to-back weeks. And for loser of the week, I know I said I praised him very well. Trevor Lawrence, loser of the week. I know I talked earlier about how I don't think it's time to press the panic button on Trevor Lawrence yet. I still think he's a really good quarterback, but he sucked this week. Flat out sucked. You suck this week, you're on loser of the week. I don't care if Mahomes, it's Mahomes. He has a bad game. You're going on my loser of the week. You suck, Trevor Lawrence. You suck this week. Bad loser of the week. Fourth loser of the week, Bryce Young. You might also never get your job back. And I'm really sick of people pulling a lot of stuff saying Bryce Young's not being treated fairly and that he never had a shot. Shut up. Bryce Young sucks. Andy Dalton came up, lit up, put 300 yards on the Raiders' heads. I don't think Bryce Young would have done that. And Bryce Young's job might be in jeopardy. And I think that he's going to be cooked in the NFL. This is Trey Lance all over again. Okay. But this is Trey Lance that actually started. And for my fifth and final loser of the week, play the song. And this is shout out to Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. Everyone can sing it with me because Deshaun Watson, you suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. They suck. The Browns are terrible, and I love it. I'm smoking that Browns pack daily. I hate Deshaun Watson. Horrible. Sucks. Good for what? Good for nothing. He's terrible. I love his downfall. I'm all over his downfall. I own his downfall. I am the downfall of Deshaun Watson. You are done. You're done. Your career's done, Deshaun. It's over. You suck. You can't win in the NFL anymore on the Cleveland Browns. And they built this team around this pretty little team, and now they can't do anything. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got Amari Cooper. Javen Njoku's hurt. But you lost to the Giants. And that's why you deserve the Kurt Angle "You Suck" song, because you lost to Daniel Jones and the New York Football Giants. You suck. You suck.
Yeah.
You suck, Deshaun Watson. Loser of the week. Cleveland Browns should have had an easy win. They lose to the New York Giants. I was laughing all the way to the bank. I am so happy, and I love being on Deshaun Watson's downfall. I am the CEO of this guy's downfall, okay? President Deshaun Watson downfall. That's the new nickname. Go ahead. Let's hear your losers.
I don't know how I can follow that. That was awesome. And Nicholas commented about Rashee Rice and stuff. We didn't have him in our winners, Nicholas, but we had him in our praise for the Kansas City Chiefs. I talked really high on Rashee Rice. So my losers. Number one, I don't think there's any particular order. You know what? I'll go my least loser to biggest loser, I guess.
Sure. That's what I did.
I'm going to start with the Niners injury situation.
Yeah.
There's so many key pieces are out. I can't be mad about the efforts they showed against LA in their loss, but it might be rough missing CMC, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and now Javon Hargrave. They just need to hope Brock Purdy can stay consistent, which he has. Juwan Jennings stays hot, hopefully. And finally, can Brandon Ayuk please just show up to a football game and participate and put some stats on the board, get a touchdown?
Terrible.
That's a big thing they need to get going. They paid the guy. He wanted the money. He just hasn't showed up. Then I put another team. I put the Dallas Cowboys. I was gonna throw shade at the entire team, but the offense woke up in that final quarter and almost pulled off an amazing comeback. Let's talk about that defense, however. Back-to-back dreadful showings at home, and make that 3 if you count the playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. Something needs to click ASAP on that defense. Micah Parsons needs to get more involved. I haven't seen him getting much pressure at the quarterback this year. They need to get something going. Number 3, I also have a certain team you put, the Cincinnati Bengals. 0-3, absolutely dreadful start. Home losses to the Patriots and now the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, and I said it before we got the ban hammer. He had a coming out party in Cincinnati, Ohio, along the Ohio River in Southwest. He had a coming out party in the jungle. I think panic is going. It's not looking good in Southwest Ohio right now. I'll just say it like that. Number 4, I think we talked about it on Friday. I have him in fantasy football just because I didn't draft a lot of running backs and I needed some. He had 2 pretty solid games. But Rahamondre Stevenson, he gave 0.2 fantasy points this week for fantasy owners. He's supposed to be the Patriots' number 1 RB, number 1 halfback, number 1 running back, whatever you want to call it. 6 carries, 23 yards, and a fumble. I put, yikes. Not good. You need more out of that, especially playing the Jets and their defense. And then my biggest loser. And I don't really know if this is a hot take because, he's a guy that I don't think should be in the situation he's in. We've talked about him before. He's a quarterback. I put Will Levis. He had 2 touchdowns. He also had the 2 picks against the Packers. But I think it's time that the Titans have to move on to a guy like Mason Rudolph, who's their backup. They signed Rudolph for a reason. They really did. I don't know why Rudolph even signed there in the first place if they're going to play Will Levis over him. Yes, Levis is young, but I feel like it's time for the backup to play a little bit. He's made quite a few stupid mistakes, including that one play against the Bears, or he had to play against the Bears and he had to play last week where it was like that weird fumble. I think it was a pick. It was one of the 2, but the coach looked like he was yelling at him. Coming to the sideline, like, why did you, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. He's like, why did you do that? It was the one where he just bounced it on the ground or whatever. It just looked confusing. And I put nothing but the best for Will Levis. I hope if he's benched, he can figure it out. When in our tier list, I put him as a guy who he's very low. I think I put him in F. I don't think I put him in UFL, but I was like, he's a career backup or 3rd string. He's not a starter. He can be a guy to get you some points in the game. He's not going to be he should not be a starting QB. Ever since coming to the Titans, I don't think he was that good with the Titans in his rookie year. He had a really hot start. Everyone was high on Will Levis, but kind of seeing some pure stupidity out of him these last few games. And I don't think they have a win yet, the show of it. I think they need to go to the backup. I think it's time. I think it's time to give Mason Rudolph that shot.
I agree.
He was able to get the Steelers and he was able to get that Steelers team into the playoffs in those final few weeks. He got that win in Seattle. He dismantled the Bengals. I don't know what the Titans are waiting for. I really don't. The Titans have some receiving weapons, Danny. If I'm looking at, let me look at their roster right now. Tennessee Titans. Depth chart, receivers. They have some weapons to use. Calvin Ridley, Treylon Burks, who I really like, Tyler Boyd, DeAndre Hopkins. They have the weapons. They brought in Tony Pollard from the Dallas Cowboys. They have weapons on the offense. They just don't have the QB play right now. They could be a sneaky team to get some wins and give some teams some issues. And I think the QB play is holding them back. So Will Levis, I'm sorry. It's time for them to move on to Mason Rudolph. It has to be. They only have 2 QBs on the depth chart right now. It's the only option, unless you get a free agent. But at the same time, why did you pay Mason Rudolph to come in anyway? So that's my loser of the week, I guess, Will Levis. I think just on the aspect of it's time for him to be riding the bench. I don't think he's a starting QB. I don't think he's starting caliber. But I think he's good enough to be a bench, backup 3rd string his entire career. He has the capabilities that, this is a very long tangent, but he has the capabilities, don't get me wrong. to have a career in the NFL as a backup. He could stay as long as he can. He's shown some flashes, but like it just hasn't clicked as a starter. I did have an honorable mention after that long spiel about Will Levis. Who knew that would have happened? I put an honorable mention LA Chargers just because I don't think they should have let Justin Herbert touch the field with that ankle injury. I put walking into Pittsburgh and facing that defense with TJ Watt. I know that Alex Highsmith went out, but like Nick Herbig had 2 sacks. Yeah, I've already had Minkah Fitzpatrick, Patrick Queen. You're walking into Pittsburgh facing that defense with a high ankle sprain was risky, especially with one of the best QBs, I think, in the league in Justin Herbert. It was working in the first half, but in the second, when that second half started, the Steelers defense started to click, and then they got to Herbert, who went down with an injury. And I put all hopes to it not being serious, but if it is, that is a huge loss for a hot starting Chargers team. And they also lost Joey Bosa to a hip or an injury early in that game. If they lose Herbert, that offense that was clicking might be in trouble. And Quentin Johnson's finally been showing up. I think he had a touchdown against the Steelers this week to the previous week. He's showing up to play football, but like if they lose their QB, there's going to be some trouble for the Chargers room. But I think it was a stupid decision. I understand why they did it. They're trying to win, and he was playing really good football in that first half. But when the Steelers figured it out how to get past that O-line, they made it happen. So I guess that's my honorable mention, the LA Chargers and their decision to play Justin Herbert with that injury.